Welcome to beautiful, snowy northern Indiana. I'm Nate Manahan and I'm sitting here in the Salcha Studios. Salcha, you may ask, what is it? Well, it is a new web portal that's geared towards small and medium businesses to help you grow, learn, and stay current. And that's really what we're here to do. And we do a series of shows that we've been recording for the last several weeks called Meet the Writers, where we sit down for the content writers who are writing to help inform, to help grow small and medium business leaders. And Ethan is here with me. Ethan, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Ethan Sheckler. I'm a content specialist here. I also help with the copy editing, and so I'm kind of writing part of the time and editing the other part.
Salcha is going to be a product that launches in the next few months. And as we launch, we already have a lot of the content and the baseline, because it takes a while to get all this content that we want to launch with. And I think we're almost up to about 400 articles.
Yep, we may actually be past 400 this week.
Yeah.
So.
So there's all kinds of content that goes into that. And what I ask the content writers to do as we get ready to just kind of tease what's going to happen is bring their favorite articles to me.
Yeah.
And I get the blessing of being able to sit back and read some of the stuff. I haven't read all 400 articles, but I've read a lot of them. And they are producing some great, diverse articles to help make us think, ask questions, and help sharpen us as small and medium business leaders. And the first one I really like, and we've discussed this one before, discovering your social media attitude.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering, Ethan and I are not the same age. I'm a little older, just a little. And one of the things I love about being in an atmosphere that I'm in the business culture is I get to stay current. I have a lot of people that are helping me stay young. You bring a different viewpoint on social media culture than I would. When you're writing this article, in an article like Discovering Your Social Media Attitude, why did you write it, and what brought you the inspiration for it?
I think, well, this article in particular was just really fun to write.
Yeah.
When you start researching an article like this, you're basically just looking for really fun social media campaigns that you've seen.
Yeah.
And so, some of the inspirations were Red Bull, which I use in the article. They had this campaign with basically, I don't know exactly, this guy went up on basically a weather balloon and then essentially base jumped from
Outer
near
space,
space.
whatever they call that. Yeah.
It's from space. And so they basically it's hard to go wrong when you're starting with source material like that for your social media campaign, but it's all sort of got like an attitude. And it's a really interesting thing for, a writer, for a content specialist to look at, because it's not always about having like these, this perfect copy that you're putting out with social media. It's also about having a little bit of a creative liberty with it, and sort of having an attitude, whatever that is for your company.
Yeah. And this article really is saying, look, whatever you do it well and do it thoroughly through all your social media mediums. And you look at Dollar Shave Club, you look at Red Bull, you look at Dos Equis. These are major brands, but for a small and medium business, what do you think? What should their takeaway be?
Yeah.
Because they can look at, and we don't have the money that Red Bull has, because we can't afford to send someone up to outer space and have them jump back down to Earth.
Yeah.
What is a small and medium business takeaway?
Basically that you should have an attitude that is somehow set apart from your competitors, or just set apart in your area. Something that, it doesn't have to be over the top like that example of Red Bull, but just for one thing, be true to your attitude, to the tone and theme sort of your brand, and don't hide that in your social media, and sort of embrace it and see what you can do to set yourself apart.
Yeah. Second article, one of your favorites that you've written in the last few months: increasing leads through inbound marketing.
Yep.
Okay. Inbound marketing is something we talk a lot about here in the Salcha Studios here at PayPro Media, our parent company. What is something that your takeaway for increasing leads through inbound marketing?
I basically chose this article because it's sort of to me, it's a back to basics. This is kind of what it's all about, wrapping a lot of things together. Like you mentioned, we here at PayPro Media, the parent company, and Salcha, we're really into this thing called inbound marketing, and it's to me, it sort of seems like a little bit of it's an evolution, if not a revolution. It's in marketing, and it's going from the traditional, print advertising and video advertising, which are still very effective, but introducing a new component to it that can have really great results. And so I explained the whole, what is this inbound marketing? What's the big deal, and like why do Why do we believe in it? And so that's why I chose that.
And it's about understanding that there's a process to this inbound marketing, and you're going to find lots of articles on Salcha.com when it launches that are about inbound marketing. There are some great companies out there that are doing lots and lots of work in inbound marketing, HubSpot being one that we're partners with. But it's important for us to think through not just what our end product is. Yes, I'm going to sell this widget or this service, but how do I get a person from a person who has never heard of us to a person that either buys our service or buys our widget? And this is a beginning conversation starter.
Yeah, and this article also addresses things like social media is a big part of inbound marketing. It often plays a large role, and it's easy as a small business to just think of social media as a thing that you have to do, or maybe that you don't even really want to do, but it can take time. It can take 30 minutes, an hour of every week doing something that you don't necessarily see any leads or revenue connected to it. This article takes it and says like there's a way, and you should be seeing an actual revenue stream from this, and at least leads coming from it.
No, absolutely. Lastly, 6 ways to improve your email CTR.
CTR?
What? Let's start. Let's start with defining our abbreviation.
Yeah.
What's CTR?
CTR is your click-through rate. So that just means it's slightly distinguished from your open rate. So there are so many people who opened it, but then there are so many people who click through it and will go to whatever link, or if it's an email talking about your sale, it's how many people click through that and view the sale on your website. It could link to a lot of things.
Yeah, and if you're new to the digital world, there's all kinds of new abbreviations that are coming. And we're several years into this, but you hear the PPM and the CPC and all these new marketing abbreviations.
Yeah.
The CTR is really still one of the most powerful ones that we do it. It means someone engaged with an email I sent them and did something. What's your main takeaway? They can read the 6 things.
Yeah.
What's the biggest one you think everyone should think about this, analyze this?
That data and experimentation are very important when it comes to basically every type of marketing, but email specifically in this one.
Don't just send that email out there. Really think through and test it. A/B test. Things like MailChimp do make it easy for us to do that.
Don't always just assume that your methods are set. Set in stone, and that's the way it will always be. It should be sort of an ever evolving thing, and should always be experimenting and looking for a better way to do something. And so that's probably the main takeaway from this one. And
this is the thing that Salcha is going to provide. There are 400 plus articles. There are literally dozens a week that are being produced. And we're talking from things from inbound marketing to click-through rates to discovering your social media attitude to leadership to HR to all kinds of material that's important, we believe, to you as small business leaders to help you learn, grow, and stay current. And Ethan, one last question that I've been asking. What has inspired you as you sat down and written for the last several months about small business and about things that you think will help small business leaders become more effective and efficient? What are some of your personal takeaways as you've done this research?
Personally, I've really enjoyed seeing how some of these things can be done in practice with small businesses that I've been able to meet through some of our, sometimes we'll go in the field and shoot a video or something, and it's been really interesting seeing how these can actually, in practice be put to good use by them. That's one of the things that really encourages me. Another part of it is just that I'm a naturally really curious person. Like when I really start researching something, I will, gain an affection for it. Like the more I immerse myself in it, the more I really love it. And that's basically just true for just about every topic that I've written about so far. The more I look at it, the more I realize this is a really fun, engaging topic.
Yeah.
So.
What I love about what Salcha.com will be able to produce for you as leaders in the small business world is what Ethan, as a great researcher, will be able to do in 10 hours. He'll narrow down and help you have the right questions to ask in one page. And he's really curating the content so that it's focused on hopefully something that's really geared toward you. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to take this content and make sure it's really relevant. And then we want to use your feedback. So if we're missing the mark someplace, even on these videos, as we start talking and you can link to these articles, we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
You can interact with us through Twitter, through Facebook, through Google+, through YouTube comments, however you want to interact with us. Get back with us, because as we get ready to launch these products in the coming months, we want to make it as relevant as possible to help you grow, stay current, and to really help you stay informed of what's going on in the small business world. So this has been what we call Meet the Writers, and eventually this will become a weekly show that you can watch with all the writers. This time we're just kind of rolling it out. You can watch Ashley, we've already recorded. We're going to record with Leilani. Those are the three main writers for your part of the Salcha team. And you can get to know them just a little bit through what they're writing and here on the videos. So thanks, Ethan. Thanks for joining us. And this is salcha.com. That's SALTSHA.com. You can go to that website and sign up for an email reminder, and it'll give you updates exactly when this new product is going to launch. There's a blog there that you can read, as well as following all the social media platforms that we're on. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.